Hey guys, this is Sandy White from Simply Fit, your #1 health and wellness cheerleader. And today I decided to come out to Jug Bay. It's a park where it's got a bunch of trails and it's got the water and all of that stuff. But I just wanted to talk to you guys. Here's something that unfortunately a lot of people deal with during the holidays. Loved ones pass away, and you have that question lingering in your mind. What do you do when someone passes away unexpectedly? There are a couple things that you can do, but keep in mind you have the right to mourn the way you need to mourn, and you have the right to talk when you're ready to talk. But I do advise that you don't stay stagnant, because that hurt will linger. And I'm speaking from experience, because last Christmas I had a sister pass away, and I thought I was doing the right things, but I was doing everything the wrong way. I didn't want to cry. I wanted to keep moving as if things were normal, and they weren't normal. Lo and behold, I had a panic attack and just lost it. And my husband was just like, you can't go out the house like this, you can't drive. And all I was just like, I gotta get out, I gotta get out. And now we're not even at Thanksgiving yet, but in another 4 weeks we'll be at Thanksgiving. And we just lost another family member, and it was unexpected. And this is why I talk to you guys about utilizing the simple tips and strategies, whether you want to or not. Put yourself in a situation where you gotta exercise, where you gotta move this body, where you gotta eat right. And our family member had cancer, and it was an aggressive form of cancer, and he didn't have time to go through chemotherapy because it was too late. He went to the hospital one day, and the same day that he went to the hospital is the same day he passed away, leaving behind 5 kids and a wife. So a couple things you want to do. You want to make sure that you have a will in place, and if you have that will in place, that's great. I'll leave some links where you all can take care of that. But you also want to make sure that you have someone that you trust. And if it's not someone that you can trust, a hotline that you can go to. A safe place is what I'm trying to get to. Safe place that you can go and you can talk about your feelings. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be confused. It's okay to not to know what to do. But I didn't do what I'm telling you guys to do. I knew what to do, but I had a panic attack, and that's gonna happen. So what I recommend you doing is what I'm telling you I should have did. Start doing these things ahead of time, relieving that stress. Don't let it bottle up inside of you, because it's gonna bottle up, and the closer you are to that person, the more hurt you're gonna feel. So here's a good one, because I'm not processing it well. So I decided I'm gonna come out to the state park and I'm gonna walk. Walking in nature, being around water, letting God talk to you and help you to process, will help you to do that, go through that grieving process a lot easier and a lot sooner. So you don't want to take up a habit that is going to make things worse. So what I'm saying is, you can take up a habit like knitting or something like that, but don't get yourself in a situation where you're eating too much. You're cooking. If you're gonna cook, give it away, keep some of it for yourself, but don't, whatever it is that you're doing, don't let it mask your feelings, if you understand what I'm saying. But doing something that's going to help you relieve or release those feelings so that you can get back to a functionable state. You're going to miss that person. I'm telling you, when both of my dad and my sister died, stuff would happen, and I would be like, who do I want to talk to? Who's the person that I want to tell the most? And I found myself calling them, and then I'm like, oh my God, they're not here anymore. So you got to find someone else that can not necessarily take that place, but somebody else that you trust. So when you have wonderful news, hey, I want to pick up the phone and I can't call dad anymore, I can't call my sister anymore, can't call my nephew anymore, or whoever, you got someone that you trust that you can pick up the phone and talk to. So as I said before, I'm going to leave links down below. They have hotlines that you can call. You want to make sure you're taking your nutrients. I'm going to suggest to you that you get outside a little more often during this time, because that vitamin D from the sun helps out. I like being in nature. There's nothing that can beat being in nature. But I am going to also suggest to you that you don't blame God. Because your prayers are not answered the way you think they should be answered, doesn't necessarily mean that they haven't been answered. Did I want my dad to leave? Nope. Did I want my nephew to leave? Did I want my sister to leave? Nope. However, it may have been it wasn't God's will for it to happen that way, because they're not suffering anymore. They're now, the absence of the body is to be in the presence of God. So there's no better place to be than to be with God. Now, for us that's left here on the earth, you got to do your part. You can't stay bottled up. You could start a foundation. So one of the reasons that I'm doing what I'm doing, if you guys are new to this channel, I provide simple tips and strategies so that you can overcome suicide and depression. You want to know why? Because my dad had diabetes, and he started having complications, and it started depressing him, where he was in a state of mind where he didn't want to go outside, he didn't want people to come visit him. Then he had a stroke, so he didn't like the way his face was looking. I got all of that, but isolating yourself does not help. So I'm on a mission to make sure y'all got somebody you can talk to. Y'all got somebody that will provide you with nutritional support, with physical health support. And if you just got basic questions, you know, because a lot of times we feel like we are in situations all by ourselves. But I'm going to tell y'all, you're not the only one that's in it, and I'm not making light of how you feel. It may be your first time experience loss. But the more hurt you feel, what I realize is that you feel that way. And I also forgot my grandmother passed away. She passed away right at the beginning of COVID. So it was like my dad, my grandmother, my sister, and now my nephew. It hurts because if you're close to that person, you want to continue to have that relationship with them. But if their assignment is done, their assignment is done. So you have to work with a grieving counselor, whether it's virtual or in person, to help you through that process. And I'm gonna tell you, don't rush through it, because what I noticed, the more hurt you feel, it doesn't mean that you don't love that person. Where in my case, it wasn't that I did not love the individuals. I spent time with them. I loved them. I understood what was going on, prayed for them, with them. But I also know that people hurt the most is the ones are the ones that don't spend time with the person that has passed away. I call them so many times. A lot of times I think they were ignoring me. Oh my God, this girl is calling again. And I would call just to say hi. And I love to talk. I talk a lot. So I had to get to the habit where when I call people, I would say, hey, is this a good time or is this a bad time? I just want to say hi and I love you. And if I knew it was going to be a situation where I might violate my little 5-minute rule, I just sent a text message or I sent a card. And then I would allow them to call me back and to talk. But you got to find a way to connect where you're not overstepping your boundaries. And you have to find a way to connect where you are. I mean, and now I'm going to tell y'all another way to do this too, to relieve. If the person is still living, that's the things that you should do. But if they have already passed, then write a letter. You can write a letter, how you feel about them, how you feel about the relationship, what you're going to miss about them. And then you want to go volunteer. When you take yourself out of the mix and you start volunteering, you can volunteer at shelters, retirement homes. It could be your neighbor. You could give them your time. I have so many people that are in my family that are not blood related because I adopted them. You don't necessarily have to go and physically adopt someone, but you can adopt them and give them that time that you would normally have given your loved one that has passed away. So if you guys are not in a church home, I'm going to suggest that you get into a church home, because a lot of the churches have groups that, like we have sit groups from single moms to 2-family home, parents in a 2-parent home. I said two, I don't know how I said it, but a home with both the parents in it with children in it, to finances, to praying for your pastors. They got them. You got to pick. And if you're like, I'm not ready to be in a virtual location, I want to be in a physical location, then call the church home and find out what they're offering. Do they offer both virtual and in person, or just in person only? But they have all of these groups so that you're not trying to figure out how you can get through this process. Do not do it alone. That's the key that I need you all to understand. Do not try to grieve alone. A lot of times people are like, I'm not ready to talk. I don't want to be, and I got that. And we all have to respect that. But you also have to respect yourself, that the longer you do that to yourself, the more you put yourself at risk of going deeper down a rabbit hole of being depressed. And it's challenging to get out of that. And I didn't appreciate my husband trying to stop me from leaving the house when I was having a panic attack. But y'all know how stupid that is. You realize how stupid something is when you talk it out. And I was angry. I mean, I was angry. I was angry at everybody. You know, it's like, how did you take my sister away? Everybody else got saved. How you take my daddy away? You know, we all have that. You may not say it verbally, but you be thinking it. That's my loved one. You know, I was praying for this one. And how you take this away? You know, we're not going through that. As my one advice that my dad gave me, you hit it and quit it. You say everything that you got to say, but I'm going to tell you something. It wasn't God. It's God's will that put them in a better place. It's Satan's will to cause all this challenge and turbulence. However, with that being said, again, you don't want the person that passed away to have passed away in vain. And I made sure, well, at least for myself, that my daddy wasn't gonna die and I not help other people that were going in the same direction, being depressed, having diabetes. So he needed to eat better, he needed to exercise, he needed direction and guidance on how his mind was thinking. And when your gut is off, it's really challenging to have your brain functioning correctly. And my sister she was having bad anxiety attacks and all of that, and I was just like, for me, it was, they're gone, they're with Jesus. And my grandmother, she passed away from complications after having a open heart surgery. There are things that's out of our hands. Is bottom line is what I'm trying to tell you. But you can put yourself in a situation where you can go to a foundation that's already doing work that's helping individuals in the categories that I've already mentioned, or other categories that I haven't mentioned. Or you can start your own foundation. You can work in your community, like if you go to wytv7.org, you can see all the stuff that we're doing in the community. You can volunteer. Ms. Libby would be glad to have you come and help out. If you take yourself out of the mix and start giving your time, your talent, and your energy to those that are still here on this earth, I guarantee you that pain will lessen. But that doesn't mean you're going to forget that person. Okay? Fit, your #1 health and wellness cheerleader. We broadcast every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on wytv7.org. Please reach out to us. Go to the broadcast button, hit the down arrow. You'll find me, Simply Fit. You can send me questions. You can send me anything that you need assistance with, and I will be extremely happy to support you on. Now, what I have been doing in these last segments is either I'm giving you a challenge or I'm showing you guys a light exercise routine that you can do, which we're going to jump into right now. And we're going to work our upper body. So it's going to be light, easy, and you just need to continue to do it. You don't want to stop. You don't want to be stagnant. I'm here for you. God's here for you. And you want to surround yourself with individuals that have your best interests at heart. Don't let your loved one die in vain. Do something that's going to be beneficial to someone else as if it is your loved one. They will be so proud of you. God will be so proud of you, and you will be proud of you. And that hurt will start to lessen. And then last but not least, I do pray in the name of Jesus that you have nothing but fond memories, that God will provide you with comfort through your time of loss, and that your loved one you will have nothing but wonderful memories and times that you have shared with them in Jesus' name. So let's hop right into working out our arms.